So, when Esther McVeigh was announced as taking over the DWP again, I was concerned and, well, frightened as to what would actually happen. Like most people, I know people who are on unemployment benefits. I've been on unemployment and job seekers allowance myself. I know people who physically cannot work, and yet we've had, shamefully, a long history of people who aren't fit for work being told that they must go back to work by the DWP. Now, the story came out this morning on different platforms. One of them, which I've got the numbers from, is the Mirror. 80% of all appeal claims going to the DWP, 80% is the target of how many appeals will be dismissed. So already they're not basing it on a case-by-case basis. They have a target number to reach. So it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter if you physically cannot work, because they have this quota to fill. Now, of course, they're coming out and they're saying things like it's to crack down on fraudulent claims. Well, fortunately, I have those numbers for you. Fraudulent claims have actually gone up. They've gone from, brace yourself, 0.8% to 1.6%. Call me a hippie, call me a leftist, call me a socialist, call me anything you bloody like. But there is no way in hell that the target of 80% dismissal goes hand in hand with a 1.6% fraud rate. It's fucking stupid. We already have a history of people who are being forced back into work because the DWP isn't paying attention. They're not accepting doctor's notes, they're not accepting medical history, so they're sending people who are severely disabled, who have had mental breakdowns, who have had physical harm come to them, who have unfortunately suffered one of the 1,000,010 things that could possibly go wrong in anyone's life at any given second. These people need looking after, and instead of our government actually doing its fucking job and looking after the people, they're sending them back into work. They're putting them into situations where they're physically incapable of performing these roles and mentally not there yet. So it's putting on physical strain, which is incredibly painful for someone who suffers from a lot of pain. And it also puts on a mental stress. And once you are stressed, that affects every single part of your day-to-day life, including your general health. Even if you're fairly healthy to begin with, just having that added stress is going to diminish that. We have a system where the government doesn't understand its job. Its job, quite clearly, is to serve the people, and it's not doing that. An 80-year-old should not be told that they have to volunteer to get their fucking pension, and that's the situation that we're in. A system that is meant to look after and encourage people back into work is not meant to have a fucking quota of 80% to dismiss appeal claims. The system is broken. It's more than broken, it's fucked. This is something that does affect most of the country. If you're not on any type of benefit income, if you're not on job seekers allowance or sick leave or anything like that, the chances are you know someone who is. And unfortunately, the system that we have is going back to the horrible days of the workhouses. It's not the right way to go. This is 2018. Having a mentality of something that we know didn't fucking work back then is not the way forward. I know I've sworn a fair bit in this, but this is one of those issues that gets me riled up. The government is supposed to look after its people. And unfortunately, under the Conservatives, that is never, ever going to happen. So, as always, get onto Twitter, get hold of your local MP, tweet the shit out of Esther McVeigh and tell her just how sick this is. It cannot stand. It doesn't matter that she's worth millions. She works for us. That is what her job is meant to be. Protest if you need to protest. We have the internet. The common man has never had so much power behind them.